What's going on, guys? I'm sitting out here on my front porch. You can see my beautiful backdrop. I just felt the need to make a video. It's been 2 years since I've come off the suboxone. And let me fix this camera real quick. It's been 2 years that I've come off. Now that I'm completely, not only clean, but like I've distanced myself from drugs so much. There's been some things that I've come to realize that I wasn't able to really think about while I was on subs and other drugs and stuff like that. So so one of the things that, within 2 years, the whole experience of the taper, the first video I made, I was so, I felt so contracted, I didn't realize how much like my body, my mind, my soul was just smushed in. I felt like I was being crushed. It almost brings me to tears talking about it right now, just because of the years. I mean, I was on this drug for 12 years, so I don't want to say wasted years, because I didn't waste them. I did a lot. I accomplished a lot. I should be proud of myself. You should be proud of yourself. For all of you listening, you should be very proud of yourself. So I don't want to say wasted years, but just years of me not being able to experience, all that Mother Nature, Mother Earth has to offer for us is just, once you see it, it's just incredible. It's incredible that I wasn't able to see it. But I'll tell you what, something divine, I don't know if you guys believe in God, but something much stronger, much more integrated than I am. There was a moment where I had, like just some divine intervention, and that's what prompted me to come off the drug. Logically, I was so wrapped up in the daily minutia. So in my mind, it was something magical. It was something surreal that gave me the gift to see, to that saying, the teacher will appear when you're ready, kind of thing. Well, I don't think I was ever going to be ready. My logical brain, my body, was so afraid to come off. I needed something more. I needed something, like I said, something that is not quantifiable. So yeah, I do believe that there is a higher power, God, a spiritual being, something, some omniscient creator that, intervened in my life and kind of guided me towards this more, basically just pulled me away from the trap I was in. And I was able to open my eyes and see the beauty in everyday life, things that we take for granted because we're so busy, we're so caught up with work, we're caught up in our own minutia, our own problems, we're caught up in other people's problems. So I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful that I was able to come out of that. So I know that was long-winded, but I mean, the amount of pain that I've felt, the amount of like my stomach just being twisted like this for years, and then finally it was just, you know, I cried. Anyway, so 2 years sober. You know, from that first video of me coming off to where I am today, so much has happened. I've grown so much. I've come to accept who I am. I've come to accept that I was stuck back then with a boy's mentality. I think a lot of men out there don't ever fully transition into manhood. And I think that's partly our faults, because we're designed to take the path of least resistance, and there's so much distractions that we just end up distracting ourselves and not growing as people as men should. So, and I wouldn't even say I'm there yet 100%. I'm much further along than I was before, but there's much room for me to grow into. Yeah, as I was making this video, I had to pause and look up a word that I didn't understand. But this is a beautiful thing. Learning and connecting dots as you get older is like the most beautiful thing. You know, those like aha moments where you finally connect two things together. You get that understanding, even if it's just a tiny bit of understanding. You know, be proud of yourself for growing, for maturing, and being able to, you know, lead yourself into better situations. So, you know, so much has happened. I could go on for several hours. So I jotted down 5 things. One of the things that I came to realize that I didn't even think about until I was, I'd say, 33 years old, 32, 33. I was aware that I was getting older. I was aware that I was aging, but I didn't understand it. I would look at, like, you know, senior citizens. I'd look at people in their 60s or 70s to 80s, and they were just like different people. Like, they weren't like, oh, I'm not that. Like it just, my frame was, you know, I was unable to see that that's going to be me one day, you know. But a weird shift happens. I don't know if this happens to all men, or all people. But for me, it was like right when I turned about 32, 33, like my mind just shifted. And I realized that, like, you know, I'm getting older. And I've been working my whole life. And I started to feel my body, you know, hurt. It was hurting, you know. I have herniated disc in my neck. I have basically just back injuries, you know. My knees. Just, yeah, your body starts to break down. Don't let it scare you. But I came to realize that, like, hey, I'm wasting my youth. And I don't like using these terms, but this is just what first comes to my mind. It's like, you know, hopefully you're enlightened enough to see that, like, okay, you're not going to be young forever, so don't work yourself to death. Because I was brought up to be very ingrained in, like, hustle. My parents were, you know, workaholics essentially, so they instilled this insane work ethic in all of us. You know, I'm one of 4, so when you're working like that, you're not thinking about anything else. So when I finally had time to take a step back, take a breath, assess, you know, I was like, oh shit, what the fuck is happening? because I was able to take a step back and realize I've worked my whole fucking life. I got my first job when I was 14. So I aged from 14 to 33 and didn't even realize that that was my youth. And I had a midlife crisis because I felt like I wasted my youth. When people are out in their 20s partying all the time, I was out working, you know. I wasn't, you know, chasing after girls. I wasn't going out with the boys and drinking and, like, you know, having too much fun or whatever. You know, which is great because now I'm like secure and I have financial stability, and that's amazing. But it doesn't matter which way you do it. You're gonna have this point. Like, let's say you partied all through your 20s. Once you get into your 30s, you're gonna be like, oh shit, like I have nothing to show for it. But then it's the other way around. Like, let's say you worked all in your 20s and you get in your 30s and you're like me, and you're like, well, I kind of didn't get to enjoy my youth. And you start having these really intrusive thoughts. I think it's different for men too. I think men, we are, you know, through like popular pop culture and media, there's a lot of content out there about working really hard. And that's like, we have like certain codes that we abide by, and like honor, integrity, and hard work, and sweat equity, and all this. So like we're, you know, from a young age, we're taught to like work and focus on work and like stability and security and all this. So I think it's pretty normal for a guy to be in the position I'm in. You know, and I also always chased like emotional security. So I always had a girlfriend. And I would stay with the girl way too long, even if I knew she wasn't the right one. And that was because I was afraid to lose her. I was afraid to be by myself. Because I knew that I wasn't ready to meet the woman that I'm meant to be with. But I just ignored it. Of course I wasn't ready, because all I did was work. A human being is not, you know, designed just to work. That is not an attractive quality, you know. And like saying it now, it's like duh, like fucking duh. But I was so caught up in it, right? I hadn't developed a sense of humor, you know, a warm energy. I hadn't developed like just, you know, interpersonal communication. Like, you know, how do you chat with someone? How do you approach a stranger? Like, how do you conduct yourself in a manner that's likable? I did know how to sell, and that did help me a bit. I was a good salesman. I was a good salesman because I know how to empathize. I feel so much that I know when people feel a certain way, and I'm able to play into that. So I was a great salesman, you know, and that enabled me to get a lot of clients. So I wasn't great at first. I don't think anyone's great at first. So be patient with yourself. So yeah, if you're anywhere around my age, accepting aging. And this is the last thing I'm going to say about it. This is one of the most important things. I was going crazy. I couldn't stand still because I felt like I was missing out all the time. And not because of social media and not what other people are doing. It was because of, I realized that I hadn't got to live yet. And I was longing for that sense of wonder and that sense of connection that I never had. I was cold. I worked all the time. So I came up with this phrase. It's called aging in place. And you'll feel it When you feel this feeling, you know you need to get out of the house. You know you need to get out of your parents' house. You know you need to get out and go do something. You know, whatever it is. Go hang out with friends, take up a new hobby, you know, go look for a job, go out to some events, go talk to girls, whatever the thing is. Aging in place, it's the most terrifying thing that one can feel. So surround yourself with people. Don't do the aging in place thing. As soon as you feel that feeling, that's an indicator you need to get out. You need to go do something. Don't distract yourself with pornography or video games or like social media, YouTube. Don't distract yourself. You can watch this video, but like watching other nonsense, like don't do it. So the third thing, or the second thing I wrote down is accepting maturity. So I briefly touched on this topic. So I think a lot of men, like I said, they don't ever transition from boy to man. And it's not cute. It's not attractive. Not only is it not attractive to others, it will never fulfill you. There is something inside every man that in order to unlock happiness, to unlock groundedness, you must go from boy to man. And until you do, you're never going to feel secure. So this transition is incredibly important, that you do this transition. And what this requires is getting out of your comfort zone. Whatever the fear, whatever the thing is that you are afraid of, that's what you have to move towards. Once you tackle, I would say, 5 or more of these fears, you are essentially able to move into this man archetype. And it's not even that you're gonna want to be there now, because you realize that being a boy doesn't serve you. So no one's supposed to look after you. Mom did her job. You know, once you're out of the house, once you're an adult, like, that's it. Now it's your time. Man, just talking about this is it's crazy, because they're just like duh. But it's easier said than done, right? It's simple, but it's not easy. So yeah, boy to man. Embrace it. Tackle, face your fears. Tackle the difficult things. And like I said, 5 or more things. Like, let's say you're afraid of being around a lot of men. Go to a men's retreat. You know, they'll put you through some things. You're going to learn some things about yourself. You're going to learn some skills. If you're afraid of heights, go skydiving. If you're afraid of drowning, go scuba diving. If you're afraid to talk to women, talk to women. Approach women. If you run out of things to say, run out of things to say. Right? So like, you just do these things until they're comfortable. You're okay with it, right? And this is what it means to be secure, to have authority over yourself, right? Because you trust yourself, you believe yourself, you're a man now. You're going to make a lot of mistakes. Don't fret it. This is connected to point number 2. So accepting maturity and having authority over yourself. Having authority over yourself. You're not running on someone else's time, right? You're planning your day as the day comes. You're not waiting for anyone. You're not needing validation. You're grounded. You have authority over yourself. You're ready to embark on your day, you know what you need to do, and you're doing it. Whether you want to or not, you're fucking doing it, okay? You got to be that way. You have to be hard on yourself. You have to say, I'm fucking doing it. I'm not going to sit here and moan about it. Right? Having authority over yourself. I realize that guys have a lot of issues. Have authority over that. Whatever that may be. An addiction. Have authority over addiction. Realize that you're an addict. Figure that out. Could be addiction to games. Could be addiction to pornography. Could be an addiction to social media. Get authority over yourself. Don't blame it on other people. Right? And realize that if you're watching a lot of porn, it probably means you have a high sex drive. Get authority over that. Realize that it's okay to have a high sex drive and own it. And what it means by owning it, I'm just going to briefly touch on this. It means when you get the desire, the urge, get out of the house. Go do something. Go talk to people. Don't give in to the desire, the temptation, unless it's healthy. Right? So, number 4. Again, tied into accepting maturity from boy to man. Once you become the man, you're going to have a different set of challenges that you had as a boy, and these challenges are going to be new to you because you just transitioned. You've just grown into. You've essentially shed a layer, right? You're new. You've been reborn. You're going to have a new set of challenges as a man, and that's okay. This is what life is, right? This is the beautiful part of life. Okay? So realize that that's going to happen. This is the last thing I'm going to leave you guys on. Understand if you're selfish. Selfishness leads to loneliness and unhappiness. Live to serve others. Serve others. My battery's about to die. Look, put more effort into people, how you can add value. Don't think about yourself all the time. Think about how you can improve other people's lives. This is going to make your life so much better. You're going to attract new friendships. You're going to attract new romantic interests in your life. It's going to propel you into an incredible life. So, with that, I think I went over some deep stuff here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll be sure to. I'm going to try to keep making these, but until then, I'll talk to you guys next time.